Hi, everybody. Corrie, the spiritual healer. She ran upstairs, coming in to do my weekly vlog. I missed last week. I'd say sorry, but I'm not really sorry because I took some time and spent some time writing after finishing up the More Than Existing online summit, which was incredible. We have officially taken More Than Existing, the Corrie School of Magic, to a whole new level internationally. We have people from all over the world that are members now, and it's such an amazing feeling to know that my work, the courses, the work of the women who are involved, my partner in all of the school stuff, Lisa Richard, that we're really truly taking this to a new level, and it fills my heart to know that it's reaching the places that it needs to go. And I always say More Than Existing was a movement. It was a movement of love. It was a movement of changing changing gears and directions within my own life and moving beyond just existing and doing just the day to day and truly stepping into my light and into the energy of love. So um, that's where I'm taking this week's vlog. Um, that's where the channel is taking me. So I'm channeling through some, thank God is what I'm going to say. Thank God, because I've spent a long time over this past year channeling through some really shitty energy. Sorry, I'm just to get my message just to stop. Channeling through some really crappy energy, and I better watch my words, or else I'm going to be censored. And I still have an issue with that. I'm not going to lie. I am not accepting that this is a normal. I'm not accepting that this is the way our life should be, and I'm not accepting that it's okay because it's not okay. It's also not okay for us to be rude and disrespectful of anybody or to think that we are superior to anybody in any way. Nobody is. We are all we are all equal in this world. We have equal, we have the equal rights to be the most beautiful, wonderful human that we can be, and we need to remember that and respect that within each other. But we also have to um, take care of our freedom. And it's a very important thing that we take care of that and that we honor that. And that's coming up this week in this as well. So the energy has shifted, or the energy is shifting, and I'm really picking up Metatron this week. A lot of Metatron. I know it's Friday, it's coming into this week, and today is the 22nd. It is a 2-2. And so we have what I'm getting is that I have a major shift, a major transformation that's happening. I have like changes in the air, and I don't mean political because that's a different ballgame altogether. This is not what I'm talking about, and I'm not American. Uh, and so I work out of Canada, and what I'm picking up and what I'm receiving is truly coming from a message from the north and the northern in our northern energy of being able to look at from a place of wise wisdom from our elders, from our ancestors, from a place of the angelic, from the saints and um, the ascendant masters, that energy. And so from that and opening up into the gateway of the divine wisdom is what's coming through. And so Metatron has shown me that, this is not going to be an easy ride, but if we go through, if we take this, if we take this journey, if we take this road, if we stay on the journey and a projection of seeing everybody as being affected and impacted, and that everybody has been really truly doing the best that they could in whatever way for whatever reason, but also to see that there's been a lot of Jezebel energy. There's been a lot of this negative energy, a lot of Jezebel, a lot of trying to get into the heads, a lot of trying to kind of push you to be a certain way or to think a certain way or to accept that we accept. And so this is what I've come to know is that I'm not accepting bad behavior is okay. And that's what Metatron has been telling me is that we are not accepting that any form of unkind. So anything that takes us away from being a benevolent being is truly taking us away from being able to move towards a wonderful, healthier life. And so to get to beyond that means that you're going to have to fight through some energy. And there's a lot of things that we feel may have settled. And it was like just because there was a celebration doesn't mean that things are finished, doesn't mean that things are done. And it doesn't mean that life is returning to the way that you thought it was. But there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of faith. There's a lot of there's a lot of beautiful blessings being bestowed upon us right now, and a lot of beautiful blessings being bestowed within our world, within our lives, and we may not see them all yet, and it's this is being bestowed in a collective kind of way, and about honoring those near and dear to you, honoring your neighbor, and really truly honoring the wisdom and knowledge that comes after a time like we have experienced, or not after. They keep telling me after, but it's not after. We're still in it, but it's like being able to see beyond that, to see the essence um of hope, faith, but to understand beyond our words, understand beyond what people were saying or what people are saying. Let's see beyond that. Let's see what's really behind all of that. And um, and that's sorry. And that's often fear. And fear is riding shotgun in a lot of our words, a lot of our thoughts, and a lot of the ways that we get ourselves caught in situations that are not really in alignment to who we truly are. And we find ourselves there because we are human. And remembering that the world is full of humans. It's not full of aliens, it is full of humans. And because we have humans, we have the human existence. That the fear of not having our existence, and the fear of knowing that change also means that it comes at a cost, also meaning that not everybody gets to have the happy outcome that you think, because you get the happy outcome doesn't mean that everybody else gets a happy outcome, and it affects us. And I live in a province right now, Alberta, where you are seeing the not so healthy effects, and you're also seeing the healthy effects as you see what happens in the USA kind of roll into Canada. And because it impacts everybody, but but I don't know the story, and I don't, I not that I don't know, but you don't know it all, and you don't live within that area, but we do know the effects of some of it within our own province, which is in Canada. And so, but you also know that, so with that, everybody has their side of the story. Everybody has a way that they're either impacted or affected, no matter the decisions, no matter what happens, that no one's ever going to be able to be fully on board. And just because it pleases us, it comes at a cost to somebody else, or it comes at another cost another way, or it's a benefit. Who knows? And we don't know exactly, but there's an acceptance. And what we're being told is that right now is that this is the alignment, this is where it is, whether or not it was exactly as it was supposed to go. That goes back into some of my earlier channel messages, and I'm not going there. In the middle of a channel message, I did see a big flip. I seen a big change, but I also seen some more changes to come. And I'm like, the changes are still happening. So I have a lot of faith, I have a lot of hope, and I have a lot of love that is being shown to me. But that also means that I've also downloaded some things um, that we need to do within ourselves, so that in the times of frustration, that we do not go at war with ourselves. And so there's a sense of this week is about, where are we at war with ourselves? Where are we truly allowing ourselves to keep losing the essence of us? And I mean the essence of us, I mean the inner authority, the inner love of us, the ability to be kind. Let's just say that. The ability, oh, the ability to be kind. And so we've lost that sense of kindness, and we've kind of diluted what it means to be kind and compassionate. And we've diluted it in the way well, not us to channel, you guys here on earth. And so it's been diluted in the way of, as long as it serves my needs, and not that just that of, and not always that of the highest good, as long as it serves mine, then I can turn around, I'll start being kind. And I've heard it a lot lately, just come together. Now it's time to just come together. But why wasn't it time to just come together when things were not going your way? Right. And so that's what we have to remember within ourselves. Why is it only when we're made comfortable in our own insecurities, and then we can suppress, push down, patiently wait for things to change? Why is it only then that we're at peace? Why can we not find that inner self, inner sense, when things are not going our way? Something to think about. Because then we become unkind, And then we justify it because I was upset and I was frustrated and I was afraid and I was scared. Well, the only thing that changed, because nothing else in the world changed other than a decision, a choice changes. So when something else changed that direction, then you feel comfortable. But it's that perspective, right? And it's that blinders that we put on that we think we are fully, that everything is exactly as it needs to be now. And so it is this euphoria energy that we get ourselves into, but we have no compassion for anyone who don't feel the same way. And that's not how being a benevolent being exists. And so to understand that is to look beyond our words, look beyond, look beyond, the words that were triggering you earlier are now probably triggering another, but, you know, now that they align. So take a good look, take a good deep breath. Think about the fact of where you may still be at war with yourself. Think about where you are still in some sort of state of not allowing yourself to be in acceptance. And what can you do, or what can we do this week to find inner peace, to come closer to that? And so the Metatron and the beautiful golden energy that's being brought in is showing me that you are all being blessed. And no one's being left out. We're not like humans. So what Metatron's telling me, we don't think and act like humans. We don't pick and choose. We don't have a selective. It's that all are equally able to accept the blessings. It is our own actions, our own choices, and our own decisions of what kind of world we choose to live in inside of here. Our material world may go to shit. There's no doubt. Out there in the real world, it may crumble, it may fall, things may go apart. But your inner world is not defined. Is it impacted? Yes. Is it affected? But it truly is about us understanding kindness beyond the word and the dictionary language. That when we are selective, when we are selective of who we are. So as a healer, if I became selective of who was worthy and who wasn't worthy to receive my healing, my work, my love, what would that say about me as a human? And what would that say about me channeling through the energy of Jesus and the God energy, and that we make ourselves in the ways that we can, not in all ways, because we just can't do everything. We are human. Is that um, is that you be a little open minded. And so as we expand our consciousness, as we expand our awareness, and we move beyond the sense of being at war with our own selves, being away from our inner peace. This week, it's about allowing the blessings of inner peace, of of finding our inner self in a state of being uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, being comfortable with being comfortable with the fact that we have to exist within this change. You can't change the change that is in action. You can change the next time around. You can make changes within yourself. You can do all the things. You are responsible for you. And you are not responsible for the actions and behaviors of everybody else unless you have triggered, unless you are the one who is activating it, unless you're the one that's. And so, as much as I try to be as open minded as I can, and I try to listen to all sides of everything, there came a time when I shut it all down. And I said, if we don't, it's like bad children. If we don't give bad children attention, if we don't give the bad, not bad children, I don't know if there's bad children. If you don't give bad behavior attention, maybe they'll all grow up. And that's the truth, is that there's a whole sense in my I have a lot of work that I base around spiritually growing up. And that to spiritually grow up means that we have to move beyond that pivotal point in time where we were originally triggered, the original sin, the original place. And to be able to move beyond that and shift our energy so freaking beyond that. And to know that we have to spiritually grow up. We have to spiritually not awaken this whole, and you're never going to hear me say this woke is this amazing thing, because to be woke means that you actually to be awakened means that you learn to operate from a place with no judgment, and that you don't cancel people out, clear people out, and all that kind of stuff. You don't go doing that just because they don't agree with you. And that means that to be awakened means you actually are more compassionate, kind, caring, and more willing to be able to open your heart, your ears, your eyes to the fact that we all have a different why. And because we all have a different why, we have a different level of, we have a different place that we operate from for what we're actually wanting to see happen within our lives and the acceptance of this. So what we're being told is time to move on beyond, beyond beyond deciding who's acceptable, who's not. Time to grow up. Time to get past that. And this is grandmother energy. This is Metatron energy. This is the masters, the ascendant masters. These are the wise ones. And when the wise ones comes in, and the wise ones are telling you that it's time to start listening to the elders, the ancestors, listening to the people who have experienced and been a part of things like war, who have been in countries and places where they know struggles beyond the fact that you didn't get the Xbox game that you wanted, or that you didn't get your way, or that you had to share a room, or beyond all of that. They know what it's like, and some of our elders know what it's like to have to go to war at 14, 15 years old, who know what it's like to see a whole family being killed. All of those things, all of those things existed in other people's worlds, and they existed, they might not have existed in yours. And so you have to remember, what you think may be your biggest challenge may only be the beginning of something worse if we keep up this behavior. And so moving beyond that, I'm like, hey, where does my happy-go-lucky energy go? And so what we're being told is that now it's time to go on a spiritual quest. Now's the time to go inward. Now it's time to look at the things of where we're at war with ourselves, where we need to move on from. And this is the part, and this is the beautiful. Um, this is Archangel. I was going to call Radley an Archangel. Radley? I was just going to call you an Archangel. And so this is the beautiful Radley Valentine card. And this card is truly, this is Jamal, and he's coming in, and this is a 20. And this is major life changes. So a lot of people are experiencing a major shift, a major life change. We are experiencing that in a lot of ways. And like I said, it might not be your turn for the best one. It might not be, you might be on the celebrating side, you might be on the not celebrating side. But either which way, it's a shift. And it is, we have shifts that are here, we have shifts that are happening. And depending on your astrological connection, depending on the year that you are in your Chinese astrology, in your Western astrology, where all your houses are laying in your astrology. Like there's so many things that are at play of what your year will be like. But the number one that's at play is you. And are you in here to play the game of throwing throwing rocks at each other, or are you in here to start accepting love, to start giving out love? Are you in here to start? And so this is in here. And so start moving beyond means that here's a chance to really start to put our priorities in perspective. And our priorities should be the children. And our priorities should not be that we should be teaching our children to be fearful, to be assholes, to be angry, to be any of those things, and that we should be teaching them to hate our neighbors or to hate people. We should be teaching them, and we should be teaching unity, and we should be teaching about coming forward, and we should be teaching our children to be open minded and to be able to look at both sides, to look at this, to look at that, and make up your own mind, and not to be instilling or forcing. Because remember the days when we were conditioned, that we were forced into believing something because it aligned to somebody else's belief system. Remember those days, and remember how much you hated it? Well, stop doing it. And so, because we are doing it, and we're doing it because of social media, we're doing it because of news, we're doing it because kids are seeing it in advertisements. And advertisements are political. Everything has turned so political and so laser focused on that brainwashing thought. What if we let people think for themselves? And that's what we're being told. Let's move beyond all that. Let's use our inner self. Let's heal what's inside of here so that we can get back to trusting our own self. About trusting our own ability to think for ourselves, to trust our own intuition, to just know that we're not running off fight or flight instincts, to be able to trust your natural instinct to, and to be able to do what is righteous, to be able to do the right things for the right reasons. And that doesn't mean to be pleasuring our insecurities. It is time now to be. Um, time now to be shifting gear. Time now to be moving forward. And so we're now leaving this misery home and in a lot of ways, or this is this home we're clearing the clutter. And it's time to spiritually grow up. So it's time to move out of the old home and move into the new home. Move into your like it's like moving into your first apartment, your first house. You're moving into a place of where you now get to be in charge of your own life, where you are the one in charge, not to be dictated to, not to be controlled, and just trust that once you start to operate from love, you have the ability to start creating and molding the beautiful life that you were here to be. And that's what we're here to do. And so do the things that you love. Get out of the news, get out of those things. Stop increasing freaking ratings on places like that when you know what? When that's all it is about. So it's about this, it's about being liked. It's a whole bunch of insecure people that are, making sure that they get to be seen, to be heard. And it's like, what's everybody fighting to be seen, to be heard for? And what do you believe? And what do you trust? And where do you go? And so there's a whole lot of that energy out there. And so who do you trust? You. Yourself. Trust yourself. You know what is true for you. When you're healed, you're healthy, and you're thinking with your mind, and you're becoming part of one with your community, your people again, and you start to feel yourself say, you know what? Um, I was a pretty good person. I don't think I have to be apologizing for not being a good person because if I look at my life, I think I've been a pretty good person. And so look at the places you've succeeded. Look at the places you've already done well. And let's just get back to knowing that most of us were already pretty damn good people. And let's start getting away from there and return to this beautiful place and home. And let's start spreading much love. And this is a time of transformation. Let's get back to the everyday people because it is the everyday people that make this world. And let's get back into being the loving, kind, come together that we already had. And stop making enemies because somebody out there is telling you you need to be enemies. Much love. See you next week.